to another episode of Figuring Out Epilepsy, where we talk about all things epilepsy plus more. Today, we have a special guest, Tiffany. You guys may have seen her TikToks, her Instagram. She also is the creator of the Epilepsy Network. And so thank you so much, Tiffany, for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, I love your TikToks. They're so funny. And what's nice about your TikToks and the posts that you post is that it's entertaining, it's funny, yet it's informative. Like, so how did all this start? How did you get diagnosed with epilepsy?
Oh, well, it's funny. I had my first seizure when I was 16, and that was totally unexpected. I happened to be sleeping in bed. I was preparing for a test the next day, a history test. I was really nervous about that, and I happened to be awoken by two paramedics carrying me down the stairs. And I was so dazed and confused. And they were asking me if I had taken drugs. And it felt so surreal because I was thinking to myself, no, I'd never taken drugs. I was just in bed sleeping, worried about my test the next day. Why are you asking me these questions? So I was loaded up into the ambulance, taken to the hospital. They got me all hooked up, and then they told me I had a seizure. I'd never heard of a seizure before.
Yeah,
so they ran tests.
That was me. I didn't know what seizures were before I got diagnosed.
No, and then they put me on medication. And this was about for a 6-month period. And I hadn't had a seizure within that 6-month span. So they took me off. And I just lived a seizure-free life up until the age of 22. And then I happened to, I got married. And I was only married for about 4 months.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I got, to a point where, my husband and I were getting ready to go shopping for Christmas presents. And I wanted to sneak out and buy him something, for Christmas, our very first Christmas. He went off to work, and it was early in the morning in December. Everything was fine. I felt great. But as I was driving along, my vision just started to fade into black. My muscles started to go limp like spaghetti. And next thing I know, I woke up in the back of an ambulance again. They told me I crashed my car.
That's scary.
It was really scary when I was in the hospital and they told me, it was another seizure, because I had this flashback of, oh no, just like when I was 16, this happened again. And I'm thinking to myself, did I break anything? Did I hurt anybody? Did I kill anybody? And thank God I didn't do any of those things, but my car was crushed like a pop can. So, with it being my second seizure, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. And I didn't know what epilepsy was.
Yeah, that happens. It's interesting that you went, if my math is mathing, that you went about 6 years.
That's right. Yeah.
Before that's so interesting. Do you know why? Were you able to get those answers?
No. Yeah, it's funny because, the doctors really didn't give me a whole lot of answers when I was 16. They just threw me on medication and sent me on my way. And I just wanted to live my life. So I was just like, give me those meds and let me go about my way. And yeah, and when I was 22, I really wanted to know answers. I wanted to know what's
What?
happening,
Yeah.
what this is, and what I can do to get better so I can get off of the medicine and continue on my life or on my way to living with my husband and do everything that a normal person can do.
That must have been stressful just being newly married and then having another seizure trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, yeah. There were a lot of changes that I needed to make.
Yeah.
I had to quit my job. I needed to stay home and adjust to medication. And not only that, but I needed to adjust my emotions. There were a lot of different
Hmm.
emotions that I was going through in that time, just because, again, I was newly married and needed to, sideline things that I was doing on a regular basis that I loved to do. And
Hmm.
it was a process.
I bet, because yeah, I was in a relationship for 6 years, been
Mm.
divorced for 8, and yeah, epilepsy kind of throws a curveball in there when you're in a relationship. It
It
adds a little
does.
bit extra stress on top of the normal relationship stuff that goes on.
It has bad timing.
Yeah, it does. Did you ever get your answers when you were 22? Did they ever explain to you what was going on? Your doctors?
Well, I had to go through a lot of testing,
Mhm.
and this went on for years. I did EEGs, VEEGs, CAT scans, all of it, you name it. They
Yeah,
couldn't figure out why. I'm one of those individuals that just they don't know why.
that's me too. Yeah.
You too?
Yeah. I always tell people that I have my theories as to why I have it, but it's never been confirmed with doctors or any tests or anything like that. Is that the
Yeah.
same with you? Do you have like theories?
Well, I mean, I know where they're located now that I've done
Mm-hmm.
the SEEG. But I I just think of it as I just have bad wiring up in there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just
Yeah.
some faulty wiring.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a good way of looking at it. Good explanation for it. So how did you accept your epilepsy right away, or did it take you a while?
No. No, that was a process. I mean, because I really didn't want to believe it was happening. I really wanted to believe, that the next day it would be a bad dream, that it would
Mm-hmm.
be better,
Yeah.
and just it was a process, a step by step, one foot in front of the other process.
What do you think helped you get to that point of acceptance?
Oh, well, first of all, God,
Mhm.
my husband, and family.
That's good. You had a
Mm.
great support system. Yeah.
I don't think I would have made it without them.
Yeah. I feel the same way about my family, definitely. They have definitely been there for me, even when I'm being stubborn.
Oh, that is so true because yeah, I could be a little bit, annoying and sometimes frustrating because it is frustrating sometimes, but
Mhm.
you got to feel those feelings and get through it. But thank goodness for our support system. They really do come
Yes.
alongside us and help us to keep level-headed.
Yes, yes. I was in denial for like 20 years. I refused. I refused my epilepsy for so long. My
Well,
my my older brother was the one that helped me. Yeah, don't
we
be
have
like
good days
me.
and bad days. Yeah.
Don't be like me where it takes you 20 years.
Yeah, we have good days and bad days. Not every
Mm,
day is going to be sunshine and rainbows.
exactly. That's what I say. This is the exact same wording to sunshine and rainbows.
No.
What kind of seizures do you have? Do you have more than one type?
I do. I have complex partial seizures, and sometimes randomly, I'll have a tonic-clonic seizure.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm on a good concoction of medication where I, will just have complex partial seizures. Thank goodness.
That's good. That's good
Yeah,
that you found treatment that's helping you.
it took a long
Uh
time, but
oh, oh yeah. That in itself is a journey trying to
oh
find the
yes.
proper treatment. Yeah. Did you went through a lot of different medications too before you got to the right ones?
Oh, yes. I have refractory epilepsy, so
Oh, okay.
it is very difficult to manage. So we went through a lot of different medications and dosages to try and tweak it and get it just right.
Yeah. Was brain surgery or VNS any of that ever considered when it came to your treatment?
Yeah, years ago they wanted to address that topic, but I was really nervous to consider that topic. It took me about 10 years to really want to consider that. And then
Mhm.
I went and, got the SEEG, and that is a procedure to see if you are a candidate for
If
brain
you qualify,
surgery.
yeah.
I think I mentioned in one of my videos I used to have really long hair, and now I have
Yes.
short hair because they have to shave your head. But after running this test, they determined that I'm not a candidate. So yeah.
What how okay, I have so many questions. First off, how was it like getting a SEEG?
Well, that is quite the journey there. You have to do tests in order to see if you can really go through that process. I had to do a lot of psychological tests and just
Oh.
all kinds of tests to see if I was prepared to do that. To see if my brain could withstand that type of testing. And then of course, they had to locate the exact spot where to put the electrodes. So they
Mhm.
didn't miss. They didn't
Yeah.
want to miss because they were going to insert them underneath my head there. They
Mhm.
so that was okay. And typically a person would be in the hospital for about 2 weeks. I
Mhm.
was in the hospital for 22 days.
Oh, wow. Why so long?
Well, they couldn't get me to have a seizure.
Isn't
Yeah.
that weird how like when you're going through all these tests, your seizures don't show up?
It's funny. It's almost as if my brain knew that
Yes.
I was going to try and find it, and so they tried to hide.
Yeah, because all my tests always come back normal that it doesn't show anything. And I'm like, okay, but
I
we see the
know.
video because I have video proof that I'm over here having a seizure. I'm like,
Right. I
what's going
know.
on? And I've
And
heard that from a lot of people
oh
in the
my
epilepsy
god.
community. Like the seizures go into hiding.
They do, though. It's so weird. I did everything from drinking coffee to staying up late. I even had one of the nurses, he was so kind, he went down and got me an espresso. I mean, like one of the like
The
tallest
strong.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, he was so nice. I was like, it was like this big and it was an
Oh my gosh.
espresso. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm definitely going to have a seizure. No,
Nothing.
nothing.
Oh my goodness. See, that's what's so frustrating about living with epilepsy. Like you're trying to find the answers, but
Yes.
like even when you're going through all those tests, like your seizures just hide. They go.
I know.
It's like
I know. It's
it's so
insane.
weird. It's the
It is.
weirdest thing ever. So, when it comes to being able to qualify, what do you know the criteria?
Well, I mean, you have to. Well, I'm not a doctor, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
so I can't
Yeah.
really, say specific things, but they have to make sure that where it is that they want to remove that part of your brain, that it's not going to damage certain aspects of your life. Like for
Mm-hmm.
me, if they were to remove the area where my seizures are coming from, it would damage my vision, speech, and memory. So they wouldn't want to
Oh,
do
okay.
that.
Yeah, no. No, let's not do that. Uh
No, no.
I always ask other females in the epilepsy community if your menstrual cycle affects you in any way, because I know for me it does.
Yes, yes, it did. I had a hysterectomy, but before that happened, oh dear goodness. Yes, it did.
It did.
It was terrible. And yeah, I knew it was coming like, a storm. I saw it coming 2 weeks prior, and I just, I would have a wave of extra seizures beforehand.
Okay.
It was,
Okay.
yeah, like my seizure level increased,
Mm-hmm.
way, way more.
That's interesting because yeah, I'm the same way. I tend to have absent seizures and then
Yeah.
with little spasms. But if I don't take care of that, they go into tonic-clonic, and it's
Oh, wow.
always around my menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
And then my first seizure was around my first menstrual cycle, and ever since then, it's always around that time.
Yeah.
Um, how is it different from, you mentioned that you had a hysterectomy? How is it different between before the hysterectomy and after your seizures?
Oh, well, when I was before my hysterectomy, I would usually just feel that increase of seizure activity. I would just, get the blurred vision. I would feel anxiety. I just would get all of those symptoms happening. Afterwards, after the hysterectomy, I still have those symptoms when it comes to the time in the month, but
Mm-hmm.
not as much. Not as
Okay.
much.
Okay, so it helped a little bit.
It did help a little bit. Yeah, it did. But I had to have the hysterectomy for other medical reasons. So,
Mm. Was it hard getting that?
um, actually, no.
No.
I was relieved. I was relieved to have that done just because
Oh.
I also had a PMDD and endometriosis. So
Oh, okay.
I was
So it
very
helped it
happy.
helped with that then?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm my they recently found a cyst in my left ovary and then like
Oh,
fibroids too. So they're checking to see if I have cancer, and I just was like, please no. Let's not.
I pray that you
Yeah.
don't.
Yes, I'm like, epilepsy's enough. I don't need it. I don't need
You-
complications.
no, no,
Yeah. So hopefully I'll be okay. But so
you will. You'll be
yeah.
just fine.
And when did you start posting on social media about epilepsy?
I started posting in 2011. That was 2 years after I was diagnosed with epilepsy. I needed some time to really process and get my footing.
What made you want to start posting?
Actually, after really getting to know the social media and epilepsy community, they
Mm-hmm.
inspired me. They really inspired me with their love and support, and just it helped me to really want to give back and to
Oh,
really educate others.
I love that.
So I wanted to do the same.
I love that. That's really sweet. Yes, we need all the epilepsy advocates we can get. Your story
Yeah.
can definitely help someone out there. And then you also have the epilepsy network. When did you start that?
That also came around 2011. And my
Oh,
husband, he's been helping me really do that too. He's a graphic designer, so he's on
Ooh.
that end, and I'm on the, social media end, and
Oh, that's
we're like
wonderful
a
that you guys work
team.
as a team.
Yeah, yeah,
That's wonderful.
yeah. I'm
And
so blessed that he's been helping me do that.
what are your goals? What are your goals when it comes to the Epilepsy Network and your social media?
I want to keep meeting more advocates. I want to keep meeting more people that are, living with epilepsy, who are affected by epilepsy, and help them along their journeys, and to
Mhm.
help make more advocates. I really want to, generate more advocates and get them to feel comfortable talking about their journey.
Yes, yes. It's on I don't know about you, but for me, it honestly helps me. I When I started posting on social media, I accepted my epilepsy, but I feel like I have a greater appreciation for my epilepsy, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Like
that makes complete sense. I do
I
too.
don't see it so much as being a curse anymore.
Right.
And then the community that you build too, they help you so much.
Oh
I
God,
always
I know.
encourage everyone to, if they want to post, repost, whatever's in their heart.
Yeah.
And it helps you a lot as much as the person who's reading that post.
It does. And I love the work that you're doing. I
Oh,
think
thank
you're
you.
amazing. And
Thank you.
your
Thank
content
you.
is brilliant too.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Is there any tips that you would give someone who's just starting out, trying to post, trying to start like something like the Epilepsy Network? Um, any tips?
Yeah, just uh follow other advocates, just check out their content, just talk to them, reach out to them, ask questions. To be your own advocate. Honestly, it's
Hmm.
the best thing you can do is just be your own advocate and socialize.
Yes, yes. I always say start with the truth, and if you want to see it on someone else's page, more likely than not, they would love to see it on your page.
Oh gosh, yes,
Peop
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
we are a community. So, we
exactly.
can lean on one another.
Yeah, I think it's just, we don't want to feel like we're going through this alone because it can be confusing and stuff. So, having this community has been extremely helpful for yourself and myself.
I agree.
Yeah. But you are nominated
I know.
for, hold on, let me think of the name, Social Media Master, right?
Yeah, that came as a total surprise when I saw that in my email. I was like, really? Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow. I
That's
couldn't
so
believe it.
great. That's so wonderful.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I had to rub my eyes and say, honey, can you read this? Because I.
That's wonderful. That just shows you how much people really appreciate what you're doing.
Well, I'm
And
really honored.
is it the first time I swear I feel like you've been nominated before.
I was nominated last year and a few
Okay.
years back, but it was really nice. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember I was like, I know she's been nominated before, but I'm not 100% sure. And I'm like, she's out here killing it on social media. So, if people want to vote for you, how can they vote for you?
I posted a link in my bio,
Okay.
and there's also a link in my stories if they just want to hop on and tap, and it'll take you right to it.
Okay. And then I'll also post that link down below so you guys can just click on it and go vote for Tiffany.
Oh, thank you so much.
And no problem. Before we come to an end, is there anything else that you want to talk about or let everyone know about epilepsy?
Oh, yeah, definitely just keep talking about it. share all the content because we need to break down stigmas. We need to
Yeah.
eradicate misconceptions. The more we talk about it, the better we can do for epilepsy and other people living with epilepsy. So, yeah, just,
Yes. Absolutely. Your voice can definitely help someone and educate someone. I love it when people tell me, oh, how much my posts help them. Even people that I just met through this whole podcasting thing, they don't have epilepsy. They don't know anyone with epilepsy. I'm the only one they know. And they're telling me I'm learning so much. I didn't know any of this, and it's so rewarding to hear those nice
isn't it though?
comments. Yes.
Yeah, and
Absolutely
you're doing an
appreciate it.
awesome job.
Thank you. I just hope I'm cool like you one day and get all nominated.
Oh God. You know what?
That's such
Now
an
I'm gonna
honor.
nominate you.
No.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We'll just go back and forth, just nominate each other. Thank you so much, Tiffany. It was a pleasure having you on here. We'll definitely have to bring you back and see how you're doing. And like I said, if you guys want to vote for Tiffany, go to her bio, go to her story, and I'll also have a link down below in the description box.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to everyone on the next episode of Figuring Out Epilepsy.